Welcome to Sports Close-Up. Today celebrating the state championship of Maplewood girls volleyball, 5th time state champions. Here with the head coach of Maplewood, Sheila Bancroft. Coach, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having us, Mike.
Coach, you know, it's amazing here at Maplewood, the program you have built. And last year we were talking and you said you thought next year's team, which is now, could be even better, and you were right on.
Well, I knew what we had coming back, but their work ethic. I knew that they're determined and they wanted to be back. So I figured with that and with the athletic ability, the younger ones coming up, I thought the opportunity was there.
Well, let's talk about a few things. Number one, you know, as we mentioned to the girls, your program has a bullet on their back every year because a lot of people want to see how good they are. They want to play Maplewood, engage their program with yours. Does that make you nervous as a coach, or does that kind of give you honor and confidence that you have built such a great program?
A little bit of both, but I always say that I think it's harder to be at the top and stay at the top than to get to the top. It really is. Once you're there, you do have that target, and it's pressure. When teams win points from you and just win sets, it's like winning a state title. So our expectations are very high. The girls know that when they come in. But it is pressure every match. It's not just when you get to the playoffs, but every match, every region match throughout the whole season.
Does the loss still bother you as it did when you first started coaching?
Yeah. I don't like to lose. I'm going to admit that. I guess that's, you know, as a coach and you get into sports, you're competitive. And if you don't enjoy losing and win, I mean, you got to have that competitive spirit. So I don't like to lose, so that just makes me work harder at my job.
You know, you lost one to Cochran, one to Cambridge. You went through a little tough period there. Your team wasn't playing where you thought it should play. You made a little change in your lineup. Do you and your assistants sit down and look at evaluate your team and say maybe we need to make a change that put a little jolt back in our team?
Always. We converse back and forth after practices. Working with Nicholas and my son and Jason, I might get on the phone that night and still converse more. And I remember that change. I came in that night, the next night of practice, and I said, it was the best thing that ever happened to us to lose. You know, I thank Cockerton and Cambridge for our success because without that change, we wouldn't be where we were at. And I told them we were going to make the change. I said, both Nicholas and Jason said, wait, that's too early. I think things will be okay. I said, no, it's got to happen. So actually, the change I originally came in with didn't really, that on paper it looked good, but then Nicholas convinced me. Actually, he was a big part of that. Jason disagreed with that. We went back and forth, so it was like three minds putting it together, and Nicholas finally convinced me. He said, try this. He said, stick with this, and we'll do what you wanted to do, and we just three minds together, and it turned out great.
And, you know, listen to the ladies. They accept the changes with no problems because they respect your knowledge of the game and all winning you have done here, too. Is it easier to sell the players than the parents sometimes?
That's a good question. Probably I think a lot of the parents look at me and think I'm crazy at times, and they're like, what is she thinking now? The players, I love the respect they have for me, and I know they doubted me, I think, at times. It wasn't an easy transition. There were some of them that through that transition didn't play as well, and they did pout a little bit after practice at night, but that's a big adjustment.
Sure.
You know, you asked me to do this, and now this is what you want me to do, and I was getting comfortable there and said, bear with it. Trust me, you know, we got to give it some time. And so, I can sell it easier to these guys because they see it in the gym. When you get on matches, the parents just look at you. They probably shake their head. And they never say anything to me, but I'm sure they think I'm a little crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting you said about being uncomfortable because I've done a lot of reading with Bill Parcells, Bobby Knight, John Capoletti from Kentucky. He says, they all say one thing that's interesting, to have good teams, sometimes you have to make them feel uncomfortable because they don't get stale or too comfortable in what they're doing.
Oh, yeah. We never go through a season without changing our lineup. If I do, I think there's something. If we don't make a change, I'm probably not doing my job. I can go through my folder at the end of the season. I have 4, 5, 6 different lineups. So you have to keep them on their toes. And I think one thing about, you're saying don't let them get stale in what they're doing. I think every player out there needs to know every position. So I always look at that like, not only do you have to know their position, you got to know someone else's. So I don't want one player just like, I'm a middle hitter and that's all I can do. So I think that's where it keeps them fresh, keeps them on their game, and it keeps them on their toes, and they're very versatile on what they do.
Probably also helps too if you have an injury somewhere.
Yes, and I don't think a lot of people really realize that we were beat up at the end of the season. Maggie Hunter, most players would have bagged it. They wouldn't have done what she did. She had a rough summer, and after practice one night she's crying, think her season's done. She went through therapy, something she'll probably have to have surgery and days down. But she stuck with that physical therapy all season long, did her stretches, and she was beat up. And we, there's a lot of icy hot in our gym the last week of season. A lot of sore knees, but Maggie's was one of those. I've coached players like that before, and they would have said, "Coach, I can't do this." But it did hurt her game a little bit. She wasn't as strong as probably in the last year, but no one else knew that. I knew that. I don't think anyone else out there knew what she really went through.
So what you're alluding to also is how mentally tough she was.
Very mentally tough. And that's this whole group of girls. And with that, I joke and I say, we are going to be good next year. Physically, I know we have it. But mentally, this group of seniors carry these younger girls. So they have to understand that mentally, they are really, really going to have to get that toughness and remember what the seniors taught them this year.
No doubt about that. To have a championship team, your team has to be mentally tough and withstand all the ups and downs during the course of the season. Not only winning and losing, but things like injuries or playing through pain. And as you said, Maggie did, and she deserves a lot of credit. Coach, when you're into the playoffs now, your district playoffs, you're kind of doing well in the district playoffs. You get into the state playoffs, and, to be honest, many people thought you had a chance, but you weren't the favorite to win the state championship. Let's be honest about that. That'd be gratifying to be the state champ this year.
Yeah, it's a different feeling. This is my fourth one as a coach, and it's a different feeling, I think, because of the time frame that we went over 3 weeks to battle for this. And we were not the favorite throughout the whole year. I mean, the rankings come out. They don't mean a whole lot, but we were never really – I didn't think we got the respect.
Right.
And then people overlooked us, and we just little town of Guys Mills, we're okay. We're going to be there at the end. But that last 3 weeks, to mentally keep a team focused, to play Tuesday, to play Saturday, then play Tuesday, and not just physically but mentally, I look back, and yes, the state title was great, but the Otto Eldred game, the Clarion match, those were the tops of the season. They really were. Those were the tough matches, and these girls – they were tired, and they battled through it. So mentally, that 3 weeks was probably the toughest, and at 30 years of coaching, probably the toughest stretch I've ever gone through.
Let's talk about the last couple of weeks of the season, Coach. Being at UC, your team's a little tired, not only physically but mentally, and mentally sometimes could even damage your team more when they're tired. What'd you do at practice? Did you have small little practices? Did you ever give them a day off, or are you afraid to give them a day off because you're afraid of that connection you have?
I am afraid to give them a day off. Early in the season, we gave them a day off and come back in the gym, and it was horrible the next day.
So I said,
we're not doing that again. No, that's just something you can't do. But I will say, and I take credit for this, not a good thing, that I felt that I think it was after districts that we were just not pushing ourselves hard enough. And I said, so from districts on, actually our practices, the intensity picked up a little bit because I didn't think we were focused enough, and I got a little bored with practice. That stretch was long, and I don't think I pushed them hard enough. So we tried to spice things up and tried to push them harder and make the practices a little bit more intense. And so we had a little period of time there right around district time that I thought we could play better. So what we did is we picked the intensity of practice up, and we tried to shorten the practice. So I don't know where they got the 3-hour practices because we don't practice 3 hours. So they get out of school after 3. By the time we get on the court, it's actually almost 4 o'clock by the time we get talked. So we're out of the gym by 6 o'clock.
Right.
So I feel if you can't accomplish it in 2 hours, you're not going to. But we did, so we cut it down, tried to get out of the gym by 5:30 towards the end of the season. But the practices I thought were more intense towards the end.
Look back to the summer, though. Are we still going to?
About the what?
Summer. Are we still going double sessions?
Oh, yeah. The first week. And, a lot of schools go those first 2 weeks double sessions. I don't believe it. I don't do that.
And some only go one.
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks.
That first week we go double sessions, and we will continue that. I'm old school. I'm not going to change something that's worked.
Yeah, and definitely work. You can go to the trophy case and look in the trophy case so you can see all the number one district people you have on the district teams every year too, which has got to be rewarding. The players get put on those teams.
We got a load of them this year. We just, yeah.
Tell us about the special day you had here this year when they brought back a lot of your former players, guys and girls here. That had to be a thrill.
It was. It was a big surprise. Pretty awesome to see that many people, and brought a lot of memories back. That 30 years, you don't realize how many people you've coached and where they're at, and what they're doing nowadays, and it's just that was part of one of the whole season was great. Then you look back, that happened during the season also, so it was a memorable one.
Okay, state final game. You walk into the gym. What is your feeling as a coach? Did you have a good feeling like we have a good shot to win this thing? I'm sure you're a little nervous, but you prepared your team well. You had a scouting report on that team. Some of your players thought that they weren't respected when they walked into that gym, that they felt the opponent was taking them a little lightly. What was your gauge on that?
I did feel that. I didn't think that we were respected. You could sort of get that feel, that vibe from the other team, from the spectators around you, and they're just thinking, you think you're going to come in here and beat us, and I didn't think we had that respect. I actually felt, and I've told my husband this all year, that whoever wins District 10 this year has a chance to win states. So it could have been us, it could have been Cockerton, it could have been Cambridge. I just felt our region was so strong that if we can get through districts and win it, that we had the potential to do it. And then when we beat Otto Eldred, who I felt was the second best team in the state, that was our toughest one. And from there, you just got a little bit more confident that this can happen. And I think I told the girls all year that, well, not all year, but I told them at the end, it's yours to lose. If you lose this, you're going to beat yourselves. I felt we had it, but that's why you play the game. On paper and what we've done is okay, but you have to go out and you have to perform.
What's it like for you when the thing was over? I mean, as the opposing coach, did they come over to you and say, besides good game, were they respectful of your program and of your team?
Yes. Doc, for years I've coached against him. Very respected. I respect him. He respects me. He's very happy that we're not going to be in single A next year. I won't quote exactly what he told me, but he basically said, okay, you can get out of single A. We don't want to play you anymore. I think Doc had respect for us, and he knew afterwards. I talked to him, and he said, you were the better team. I don't know if he knew that beforehand, but he did realize that, yeah, you're hands down the better team.
So you're not going to be in single A, is that because you won the state championship?
No, it's because, believe it or not, our numbers have gone up in Maplewood.
So how do you know that already? Have they had the meetings already and stuff?
Yes, they already turned in the numbers. It's been in the paper. We have, schools have till December 10th to bid up if you want to. And to be honest with you, I considered bidding up. I sort of wanted to get back into Double A. The last 3 state titles we won. We won in Double A. I didn't like the fact that in Single A, there are not as many teams,
right.
So you only got one representation going into states.
Right.
Double A, more teams around, competition's better, and you get 2 representations.
So you're going to Double A next year. Does it change your regular schedule? Will you be in a different region also, or it pretty much be the same?
We'll cross our fingers and hope that it does not.
Give me some Double A teams that you might see.
We'll be battling Corey. Northeast.
McLean Double A or
McLean is Triple A.
Okay.
Fort LaBeouf is Double A right now, but we'll know more after December 10th. Teams can bid up, and I'm not going to say that some teams may not, because Fort LaBeouf, they were Triple A, and now they're double. Maybe they'll go back. I don't know. But the competition, Cockerton and Cambridge, great teams to play. I'm relieved. Marcy and I have been great friends for years. I'd like to see us both get to states next year. So that's a possibility. And with the way the bracket is now, we can never do that.
You talked about districts and you talked about Cambridge and Cochrane and so forth. District 10 girls volleyball for years has been a hotbed of teams. I mean, you go at it. So pretty much, like you said earlier, Coach, when you win a D10 championship, you pretty much feel like, we can go far in the playoffs. Is that pretty true?
Well, it is, because you play the best all year, and they're going to make you a better team. So they're the ones that they prepared you for what's ahead of you. And for years, it's always been like, when it was back in the old FCVC, was we just beat on each other every night. And right now, it's not as many teams because of the classifications have changed. But Cambridge and Cockerton, we've always stayed with each other in the same region, same classification. Right. So you play the best, become the best, and that's what we'll continue to do.
And you guys play... You play cash once a year anymore, or do you play Meadville or
tournaments? We'll see them in tournaments. Pick up non-region if we can on our schedule. But basically, in tournaments or scrimmaging is where we're only going to see them. And still, they're going to be AAA. We'll be AA, so we won't play them next year.
And as far as your team, your own schedule, do you look to go somewhere for a tournament that you like to get into that's going to really help your team?
Oh, definitely. I'm one to go travel, just to get away from here, see different teams, and see bigger schools. They're going to only make you better. We're going to get beat on. We're not going to win every tournament. This year we did win a couple down the stretch, which we haven't done in the last couple of years, so that was great. But you got to play the bigger schools. We played the General McLean, the Fort LaBeouf, the Corey, down the stretch the last 3 weeks of the season, and I do believe that really bettered us also.
And let's not forget about this, too. The girls appreciate this. You must also appreciate when you walk into the gym and see that student body and the fans really back your team.
It was fantastic at the end of the year. Throughout the season, matches, some of them weren't quite as exciting. But it seemed like the further we went, the crowd got bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's, just to see these guys let the student body be a part of this team and see the girls get excited with that. It's big. It's a momentum shifter. When the game gets on the line and it's tight and they hear the crowd more, you can see them change out there on the floor. So they're focused, but they feel that. They feel that adrenaline in the gym, and so it's greatly appreciated. And,
Coach, when the last point, you guys won the state championship, what's your feelings like being that your team has won a state championship? What is that feeling like as a coach?
Well, I think Amber put it in good words. It was a relief. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of pressure through the 3 weeks. I probably don't always show when people say, how do you stay so calm? On the outside, I'm calm. The inside may not have been like that, but it's a relief, and sit back, and now it's like all that hard work paid off. A lot of hours in the gym, a lot of time. These girls are dedicated. Their parents, their families are all super. So it was a relief, but to be honest with you, within the next week I was ready to go back in the gym. So
how long do you take to enjoy this? Are you thinking about next year already?
Oh yeah, on the way back, we were planning our lineup on the bus trip on the way home. Nicholas and Jason and I were talking. This is what we do. So we just had our JO tryout this past weekend, and we're gonna get started. We'll give a break between now and Christmas. After Christmas, we'll start back in the gym with the JO girls. And when these girls get done playing basketball, we'll get them back in the gym, and we'll be ready to go for next year. Well,
some other coaches that you coach against or have coached against wanted me to ask you this question because I think they're tired of losing to you. How many more years are you going to be here?
You'd be surprised at how many times I've had that asked to me. I have no plans of retiring.
Year by year?
It's a year by year as long as I can continue to do it. I jokingly have said to people I'm on a 6-year plan. My grandson will be around 9 years old getting involved in athletics, and so I feel that I don't want to miss any of that time. But I'm going year to year. As long as I still have the energy and I feel like I can still contribute to the sport. I still enjoy being in the gym. It is harder to get there. Sometimes I come in tired, but when I get in there, it's like I don't want to leave. So I still have the love for the game.
Well, Coach, I want to, on behalf of so many people that know you, want to express our congratulations to you on another state championship. But more important than that, more important than all the state championships and District 10 championships and region sections, whatever you want to call them, conferences championships you have, is how you have gotten these young ladies, from the young ladies to young women that have been successful in life, and also young men when you coach the men also. And I think that's a tribute to you, and that's why you have so many people come back and cheer you on. You've really developed and shaped a lot of young people and successful people, and you ought to be congratulated. You are an icon in the state of Pennsylvania in girls volleyball. As I said earlier, I would not want to be the next coach here at Maplewood after you leave because, wow, are they coming into a hornet's nest as far as trophies and hardware in that trophy case down the hall. But your relationship with your players, your former players, is awesome. And Maplewood and Crawford County and the state of Pennsylvania is proud that you're coaching these young people. So thanks for coming on, Coach.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
And I'm back with Isabel and Maggie. Ladies, thanks for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming out here.
And we got the state trophy and the District 10 trophy, and you ladies have named these trophies. This is Ann?
Yeah, this is Ann after Sheila.
Okay.
And this is Amy after Jason.
After Jason. All right. That's very nice of you guys to name your trophies. State championship trophy right here, the 5th time in Maplewood girls volleyball history they've captured the state championship. Tell me how it felt, ladies. I mean, you had to run through the playoffs. You go up and you get the state championship trophy. Last point is over. What's it feel like as everybody's running in the middle of the court?
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
It was awesome.
I don't think there's really words to describe it.
There's no words.
Let me ask you girls a question, Isabel, starting with you. Last year we were down here and we talked to some of the girls and talked to some of you about your performance last year, and I think you came in third or fourth in state, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you guys said that your goal was to get back to states, which was this year, and win it all. Was that the focal point during every match this year?
Yeah, we were on a mission the whole season, and we knew we could get back there if we worked hard, and we focused on it all year. It was.
Maggie?
Yeah, we've been working since summer for it, and we've been on a mission since summertime to win it all. So,
what's it like playing for a coach that is well respected throughout the state? Probably one of the best coaches in girls volleyball in the history of the state of Pennsylvania. If you think about all their wins, 5 state championships, numerous District 10s, many league championship trophies. What's it like playing for her?
it's pretty great because she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, it's nice to have a coach that has that record, and
He's well recognized.
yeah.
Have any of you had any people in your family that played for her before?
My brother played for her.
I don't think so.
Okay. And did your brother say anything about playing for her? Like, for you to get ready? Like,
I don't know. He played on the team with Nick when they were second in the state. And I don't know, just that she's a well-known coach and good at what she does.
tell us about your medals. You have 2 of them there. One's for districts. This the district one
Yeah,
here?
this is the district one.
And you got the state one. You have both of yours too?
No, I only brought the state. I didn't get the district memo.
You didn't get the district memo.
No.
What are you going to do with those? What grade are you in, first of all?
I'm in 11th.
I'm a senior.
Okay, so what are you going to do with those, Maggie, since you're graduating here at Maplewood? Seriously, have you thought about it?
Save them.
Okay.
I don't know. We have a nice little container to put them in, so gonna put it in that and cherish it.
Yeah, and that, you're giggling or smiling, but you're exactly right. And you know when you're going to appreciate that? When you even get older. And you get older and you look at that and say, hey, I was part of that team that kicked butt. We won states back in 2017 from Maplewood High School, And if you think about it, you won states throughout the whole state of Pennsylvania. What a remarkable accomplishment, ladies. How many losses did you guys have this year?
2.
And they were to...
Cockerton and Cambridge.
All right. Tell us about those. Did you guys... Obviously, you got beat in those matches, but how did you feel after? Because sometimes a loss can actually help a team. A lot of coaches don't really want to say that, but sometimes it gets the team to be focused. Was that the case in your team?
Yeah.
Yeah, it made us realize what we were doing wasn't gonna cut it to win, so we had to change stuff around, and it actually benefited us in the long run.
You get into the playoffs. Okay, you win districts. Who did you defeat to win districts?
Cambridge.
So you kind of came back after they beat you to win districts. Were you guys nervous before districts, being that they had beaten you once?
No.
No, we wanted to win, and we knew that we could win, so we did it.
What makes you so confident?
We know what we're capable of as a team. We're all good players, and we can depend on each other. There's not one weak link out on the court.
Maggie, what's your practices like?
Well, first we have fundamentals, and then we work on team play, a lot of serving and passing. But we work on a little bit of everything.
Position?
Middle.
Any aspirations of playing next year in college?
I might.
Where might you go to school?
Virginia Wesleyan or St. Vincent.
Nice. Have you taken any trips down there?
Yeah, I was just there this weekend.
Which one?
Virginia.
Have you been to Vincent yet?
Yeah.
Have you been there as a prospective player? Did they take you into their locker room?
Yeah.
It's a nice locker room to have in there. Yeah, I remember that locker room. And that's also where the Steelers practice. So if you like the Steelers, that's not a bad deal. You don't like the Steelers. You juniors, you're back next year. What's it going to look like?
I think we have a lot of starters coming back, and we have a lot of strong girls to fill in empty positions being left, and I think we'll be just as good.
I'm going to make a statement that this doesn't change Maplewood at all, this state trophy, because I think every year you guys have a target on your back, whether you win states or not. It's great you won states, but I think you've reached the pinnacle of volleyball around northwestern Pennsylvania where every team measures their program to yours? Does that make you feel good that you know that everybody wants to beat you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I guess.
It means you're the best.
And you don't feel any nerves about that? You guys have a quiet confidence going out all the time?
We know what we're capable when we're doing our best, but we also know what we're capable of when we're not doing our best.
Through the state playoffs, did you guys play well every game?
We didn't reach our full potential in a lot of the matches, but we made it through them all. So
Yeah, I mean, you won the state championship trophy. That's not all bad. What position you play?
I'm the setter and right side hitter.
Oh, man, that's a great position being the setter. How long you been the setter here?
I set my freshman year, and then I came back setting my junior year, so this year.
You think you'll be the setter next year, too, or are you not sure?
Hopefully.
Hopefully. That's a good answer. All right, let's talk about injuries. You guys suffered any injuries since you've been playing here?
Not me.
No?
Yeah, I tore my labrum this summer. So, like, all summer I was, like, rehabbing it and trying to make it so I could play volleyball this year. And it happened, so.
Did it bother you at all during the course of the year?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what'd you do to overcome the pain? Play through it, or?
Icy hot and some, yeah, I just played through it.
What's it like playing for this school? I mean, you know, it's called the Woodshed when you go out on your court. I know you have a big following. A lot of people come to your matches. A lot of the student body comes in mass force. It's a very loud environment here in Maplewood. Did that pump you girls up?
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty great to have such a big follow and
Yeah.
all our support that we do have.
Yeah, our fans are awesome.
And they are. And how do you guys do in school? Isabel, I'll start with you. How do you do?
Good.
Good?
I'm an A student.
Nice.
Yes, I'm an A student, too.
Why do you think you guys are so good in school? And how does playing athletics help you in school?
It keeps me motivated.
Yeah, keeps me busy.
Yeah.
Is it pretty cool coming from such a small area in the state of Pennsylvania to be the state champ?
Yeah.
We beat a private school, and
You beat a private school to win the championship.
so it's a big deal.
So you beat a
coming
school
from-
that can recruit.
Right.
Yes.
So that's pretty awesome, isn't
Yeah.
it? I mean, you guys play from your little locality, and this school can go out and recruit athletes, and you beat them. That's an added satisfaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the feeling of your parents when you guys won that state championship?
They were just as excited as we are.
Yeah.
You guys go out and celebrate that night?
Yeah. We went out to eat as a team.
Yeah.
The parents come too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Any more accolades when you got back into town? I mean, what did the teachers and the student bodies have to say?
We had a reception back at the school when we got back, and the fire trucks and fireworks.
Oh, yeah, and fireworks.
Somebody told me too, Maggie, they knew you were on the team, and they said, check out her shoes, because she's always wearing stylish shoes, and they see you got those yellows on there. It's what do you call those things?
Crocs.
Crocs. Yeah. Do you have a pair of those too?
Yeah.
The same color?
No.
No. Why the yellow? Kind of get the Maplewood color in there a little bit.
Yeah, I have a few pairs of Crocs. So yellow today because it kind of matched my shirt.
There you go.
Yeah.
Color coordinated.
Yeah.
I'm liking it. It's good. What's the part of volleyball that gives you the most satisfaction?
I don't know.
Perfect set, good pass.
A good dig. The first point of, I don't know. Against Otto Eldred. Their big girl came up and slammed the ball, and Amber was right there. Perfect. It was a good start to the match.
Yeah.
And what gives you the most satisfaction? And is it a block or is it a kill?
Block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Defense. Both of you mentioned defense. So defense is important here, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Defense wins championships.
And you know what? That's true of every sport. No matter what
Yeah.
sport you're looking at, if you don't have a defense that excels, you're not going to win a championship. You might be good, but you're not going to win the whole package. You have to have that defense, and that's sounds like you guys said that together, like you heard that before.
Oh, yeah.
A few times.
Yeah.
Maybe from Coach.
Yeah.
All right, well, ladies, I want to thank you for giving us a few minutes. Good luck to both of you. Good luck next year back at the Woodshed. Hopefully you guys will do the same thing or close to it, and good luck to you in college and in your future. I know you'll be very successful.
Thank
you.
We'll be back with more players from the Maplewood State Championship volleyball team. Back with two more outstanding young ladies from the Maplewood Girls Volleyball program. I have Sophie and Maggie. And ladies, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Sophie, let's start with you. You are a...
A little bit of everything.
Explain.
I was middle, and then this season I hit right side and outside, but also middle, so yeah.
So when did you move? Like, it depended on the game or who you were playing, or how'd that work?
Yeah, well, about halfway through the season is when we made the switch, and I went to right side. And then, like, depending on who we played, like in playoffs, sometimes I got moved back to middle.
What do you like better, the middle or the right side?
I like the middle better.
Yeah. How'd you adjust playing to the right side then? How'd you adjust doing that?
It was just different timing and more practice, but.
So I'm gathering, and correct me if I'm wrong, Coach moved you from the middle to the right side. Was there any pouting?
No, she knows what she's doing, so I trusted her and did what I had to do.
And she does know what she's doing. You're right. Sophie, what position do you play?
It's Maggie.
Maggie.
I'm a middle. That happens all the time.
We look the same. It's okay.
Sorry.
It's fine.
You're a middle hitter?
Yes.
What do you like about that position?
I like how fast it is, because just when I go on the outside to hit, it's a little slower, and I don't really like that much. But
One of the toughest positions to play, I think, is the middle.
yeah,
Uh,
you're everywhere.
Yeah, you're everywhere, and you have to play outstanding defense when you're in the middle, too, because you get the ball come to the middle a lot. Do you like killing or blocking?
I think I like blocking more. Like when you get a really good block, that's what I like.
Kind of gets everybody pumped up.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like better most about playing, kills or the blocks?
It's a great feeling when you get a kill, but I feel like blocking's better because it's like back in their face.
All right, ladies, tell me when you guys knew you were going to win this thing.
I don't think we knew we were gonna win until we won. I mean, we all hoped to win, and that's what we were gunning for. But I mean, until that last ball hit the ground, that's when we knew.
You guys played real good teams on the way to win state championships. Real good teams. How'd you prepare for those teams? Does Coach have a scouting report? She tells you this is where they're strong or weak, or you just practice and play?
She does her research.
Yeah. For some of them, there was a lot of scouting reports, but for others, we kind of went in blind, and we just played.
What about for the state championship?
We scouted them, for sure.
And what made you believe you can beat that team? I mean, you just took it right to them.
Yeah, I mean, just because they were Catholic and they can recruit doesn't mean we couldn't win.
Because they were a private school.
Yeah.
Right.
What was their comments to you guys after you beat them? I mean, were they dejected? Did they really feel they could beat you? Or did they say nice game and just kind of walk away, or did they chat a little bit with you?
They cried.
Yeah,
they cried.
Yeah, they were not very happy.
Yeah.
Is that a great feeling, in a sense? I mean, I like to be mean, but is that a nice feeling when you get your opponents to cry, knowing that, hey, man, we kicked your butt, you can cry?
Well, it made it even better because before the game, they're kind of being rude to us, and their fan section was rude, and so it was a good feeling to show what happens to people that disrespect us. But.
Do you think it's because there's this little town of Maplewood coming with this little public school coming in here, and they think they're going to win states, and we're going to show them, and you guys actually showed them?
Yeah, it was a good feeling.
No respect?
Great feeling.
Didn't have much respect for you guys?
Not really.
Wow. Okay, both of you are back next year.
Yeah.
Right.
How good are we going to be next year?
Pretty decent.
Hopefully really good.
Uh-huh. School-wise, how are we doing? Grades?
Good.
Pretty
A's
good.
and B's.
Yeah, A's and B's.
What do you want to do someday?
I
If
haven't
you know,
figured
you
that.
might not know yet, which is fine.
I want to go into psychology,
Wow.
I think.
You're a psychologist?
Yeah.
Have people tell you their problems?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've always been thinking about being an optometrist, an eye
Nice.
doctor.
Mm-hmm. That's a good field to get into. Because people are always going to need, unless they all get LASIK now, but you can do LASIK surgery. That wouldn't be bad. It's good. All right, let's go back to the season. You guys are winning, and then you go up against a Cochran team, they beat you. You go against Cambridge Spring team, they beat you. The other girls said that was a gut check, kind of put everything back in perspective. What did you think about those losses, and did it help you guys a little bit, you think?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the losses were definitely tough to swallow, but it just made us come back and work harder. And it proved we needed to switch things around, and that's what we did.
How do you practice here?
Well, we practice all summer, and then
How do you practice, though? I mean, everybody practices in the summer now, and everybody practices during the year, but how do you practice? Do you have 3-hour practices? Do you have a 40-minute practice? What's the practice like when you're practicing as far as the athlete is concerned? And I know, Coach, I've known her for a long time, but what's it like for you guys when you're on the court practicing? Is there giggling going on? Is there fooling around? I mean, how do you practice?
We practice very seriously. If you practice like a champion, you play like a champion, and we have to keep that mindset in and out of practice. So,
how long did it usually run?
At the beginning of the season, they're normally longer, so they could be like 3-hour practices, and then they get shorter throughout the season.
Like 2.5 hours towards the end.
Not much shorter, but they get shorter.
Is there a time during a practice a coach might stop it and just look and say, you're not taking it seriously enough, or you're not getting together here? We need to start over?
Sometimes, yeah. We
Yeah,
get off
sometimes
task.
we'll get that.
How do you get off task?
Someone gets it in the face with the ball, or it's kind of funny, and we all kind of
Yeah.
get off task with that.
It is kind of funny if somebody gets it. I mean, it's not funny to the person who got hit,
Yeah.
but if to everybody else,
It's usually
it would be
Belle.
funny. Usually Belle gets it?
usually gets it in the face.
Is that because she's not paying attention?
No, just like
it just
it just happens.
Oh, okay. And it's funny, and then you guys regroup and carry on
Yeah.
with practice. What happened this year? Tell me a story this year that you could add to the lore of Maplewood High School volleyball winning their 5th state championship. Something that happened that people really don't know. Could be a funny story. Could be a serious one.
I don't know.
Well, at the beginning of the season, we went to Salvation Army and decided to get
Trying to get
a
uniforms,
mascot. No, we decided to get a mascot, so we got a doll.
Her name was
Her
Gertrude.
name was Gertrude, but she was bad luck, so we disposed of the doll.
She was our mascot, and we brought her to everything, and we bought her outfits, and Nicole's grandma actually made her a jersey, and so she was like the new member of the team. But
Did you put her near the bench and everything?
Yeah, we did, actually.
And then things didn't work well in the beginning, so it's time to.
After we lost to Cochrane and Cambridge, we decided not to bring her anymore.
It wasn't good luck. She was bad luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna blow her up.
What happened to her? What did you guys finally decide to do with her?
We just left her in Belle's room, and
Yeah.
now we're waiting to blow her up.
She was at Belle's house, and we were doing good. We're like, we're just gonna keep her there.
So you think maybe not getting a mascot next year or something?
No.
Not going to go through that again? No. Whose idea was it to get a mascot, by the way?
It was mine.
Ah, okay. That's kind of funny. You said. So you just shut up with this mascot one day, put it near the bench, and what'd you say to coach? This is our mascot?
Yeah. They didn't like him that much,
Not at
especially
all.
Nick and Jason.
Yeah.
They tried to hurt her a lot.
Maybe they knew what was coming,
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to prevent those from happening. Well, girls, I want to thank you for giving us a few minutes. State champs, you guys got to be proud. I mean, it's something to remember the rest of your lives.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be another year added to the banner inside. And, when you come back to a reunion here down the road, you guys will always be remembered as state champs. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back with a couple more ladies of the state championship team. Back with Angie and Amber, 2 members of the state championship Maplewood girls volleyball team. And ladies, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Angie, what grade are you in?
I'm a senior.
Okay, and Amber?
I'm a junior.
Okay, and Angie, you're the senior. What do you want to do after you graduate in about 8 months?
I'm gonna major in biology and then go on to be a pediatrician.
Smart, aren't you? Wow. Where do you want to go to school? Do you have any idea yet?
I'm looking into Pittsburgh schools. Gonna try and get out of the area a little bit.
Okay, Pittsburgh schools. We're looking at what, Duquesne, Pitt, somewhere around there.
Yeah, Duquesne.
Yeah, that's a real good school, by the way. You're only a junior.
Yep.
What position did you play?
I play libero.
Okay, very good defensive position. You have to wear that different colored jersey all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you like about playing libero?
I like that I get to dig the hitters' balls from the other team so they can't get the satisfaction of a kill.
That's a great answer. Looking at your size, you probably are a real good libero because you can get down,
Yeah.
right, dig that ball out. That's an art to do that, though, when somebody's really firing that, serve across the net. You're not afraid of the ball, are you?
No, not really.
Stick your face right in there. And
If that's what you got to do.
when did you start playing volleyball?
Fifth grade in Flash. It's JOs.
Who started you in volleyball?
Sheila.
Uh-huh. And when did you start playing volleyball?
5th and 6th grade.
Same thing?
Yeah.
Coach Sheila started you in volleyball too. What do you like about volleyball?
I like passing.
Wow.
Yeah.
What position do you play?
I'm an outside hitter.
You
I
like
play
passing?
the whole way around. Yeah.
Passing is probably one of the most important fundamentals of the sport of volleyball. If you can pass well, especially to your setter, you can really start going. How do you work on passing? What makes you a good passer?
We go through the fundamentals every practice. We have our servers serve to us every practice, so they get practice on serving while we get practice on passing.
What about passing for you? Is that important? After you dig it out, you're just trying to dig it from hitting the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then where it goes, somebody else can pass it.
No, someone else can set it.
Okay. Like set from your dig.
Hopefully.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. What about serving? How much time do you guys put into serving?
A good half hour, maybe close to 45 minutes of practice.
What makes a good server?
Consistency.
What's it like? I know what it's like for the coach, but what's it like when it's a close game and you're ready to serve and it goes in the net? It's probably a tough feeling to deal with, right?
It's a game changer.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll
It
change the
changes the
flow of the
momentum.
momentum.
Exactly. So how often do you work on your serves?
All the time.
Yeah.
Every practice.
You serve a lot during a match?
Yes. Unless I've been missing serves, then she'll put someone else in to serve for me.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
Yeah, I serve a lot.
And what do you look for when you serve? Like you look over to the bench and Sheila's giving you, or your assistant coach is giving you like numbers, what kind of serve, hard serve, soft serve?
She gives us positions to serve to. We're supposed to serve aggressively every time.
So you guys just don't think it over ever?
She'll tell us before the match who we're going to be serving towards.
Okay.
And she'll give us positions to serve to.
Comes from the
throughout
scouting
match.
report who might be the weak link, and that's where you want to attack with your serves?
Yeah.
Cool. Now, what about when you're in the state playoffs? Okay. What's the feeling like when you're behind? Do you get more nervous in state playoffs when you're behind in a regular season, or the same, or are you just confident that you guys are going to come back and win?
You know, every match we kind of start off from behind.
Yeah,
So
that's
we
why I
kind of
asked
get
the
used to
question.
it after a while. We just know that we have to...
Coach probably doesn't get used to it. You
No.
guys know.
Definitely not. But we just know that we have to focus on us and work on limiting our errors. And if we can do that, then we'll be fine.
Let me ask you this question. Coach has been coaching for a while, so he's had a lot of success. Teams has a run against you guys. Again, they go up 3 or 4 points. She calls a timeout. You guys come over. What's the timeout like?
Constructive criticism sometimes, but this is not really bad. She just tells us what we need to fix and go back out there, and we usually get the next point.
You know, in this, it's amazing because in this day and age, a lot of coaches have adjusted, and like I've asked a lot of coaches, and they said kids are more sensitive than they were 10 or 15 years ago. I don't think your coaches really adjusted that much that way, and yet you guys and the teams in Maplewood don't pout after a timeout. It looks like you guys come back and you have more energy to do better. So you don't mind if coach constructive criticism, but it can be loud constructive criticism or a look. You guys don't mind that.
No, not really.
Sheila doesn't really lose her cool as far as like her temper. She
You
stays.
just know.
You just know. How do you
know.
just know?
It's kind of like she has the tradition here, and you know that she knows what she's doing. So you just have to listen to her, and if you do what you're supposed to, then you'll be okay.
Do you girls know anybody who's played for her in the past? That
Not
you
from
got-
my family, but
Or cousins or anybody?
my cousin was a manager, but that was it.
And you know, girls earlier said it's really cool when you come out here at the woodshed for warm-ups and you see the crowd and the student body, and this gym is alive for volleyball. I mean, it's not like that everywhere for girls volleyball, but this place is alive. That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. Our fan section means a lot to us, especially in playoffs.
They came, even if the game was an hour away or 3 hours away, they came and supported us, and that really felt a lot.
As the last ball hits the floor, the state championship is over. What's it feeling like?
It's a relief.
I was like, finally, because I thought that we could win it like throughout the playoffs, but I didn't know if we would.
And let's expand about that, because last year with disappointment, even so you did so well, you know, you had a run, but it came up a little short. You guys really had that in the back of your mind the whole season, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. So that third set came around. We just didn't want to lose that set and go back to what we did last year.
Yeah.
So it was a relief, it was satisfaction, it was a thrill. You come back to Maplewood, they have a little get-together for you guys. How about faculty-wise? What did the teachers say to you guys when you got back to class?
They were proud of us. They supported us the entire time. A lot of them came to the matches and watched, so they knew what we were capable of, and they supported us the entire time.
Let's talk about your principal, because I had the pleasure of working with him when he was at Meadville. I know he's an Eagle fan, which is probably a bad thing, but good guy and very supportive, I bet.
Yeah, he is.
Everything but the Eagle fans, okay?
Kind of a crazy guy?
He's funny.
Yeah, he is. All right, ladies, I want to thank both of you for coming on. Good luck to both of you. Good luck to you in the future. You're going to be very successful in life, no matter what you do. I know you're going into the sciences, and you'll be back with the Tigers next year.
Yep.
And so good luck to you on the court next year. And I want to thank everybody for watching Sports Close-Up on the Maplewood High School State Champs for the 5th time in volleyball.